It's road trip time. We're on our way over to the train store today on Eric's Trains. All right, so it is a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and we are on our way over to Legacy Station, which is the train store over in Lilburn, Georgia, where I buy most of my trains from. Wow, a big bug just splattered on the window. Anyway, some new stuff has come in. I think there's a couple of the Lionel SW1200s, and there's also a couple of SD45s from Lionel, including the Super Bass SD45, which should be cool to see and cool to run. And I think there might be a few pieces of rolling stock as well, so should be pretty cool. Now, right now we're about 30 or 40 minutes away, so as soon as we get there, we'll go inside and check out what's arrived. Now, in case you can't tell, I'm driving my new Mustang Mach-e that I got just a couple weeks ago, so it's brand new. Now, I've got a while until we get to the train store, so I'm going to talk about this car for a few minutes. If you don't want to listen to it, you can just skip to the next chapter in the video. You won't hurt my feelings. But I know a lot of people like to talk about cars, including me, so we'll go ahead and do that. Now, just so you know, I still have my F-150. I'm not getting rid of the truck. Prior to this, I had a Ford Fusion plug-in hybrid that I liked a lot. So it had a small battery and then went to a gas engine after that. And I like that, but I wanted to get a full EV. You know, I have to drive across town in Atlanta all the time, and usually it's at least a 70 or 80 mile round trip, which uses up a lot of gas in the truck. So I ordered this back in September of 21, and it arrived a couple weeks ago in early May 2022. So it took quite a while to get here. Now, I got the Mach-e Premium with all-wheel drive and the extended battery. So this one, I think on paper it's supposed to get around 277 miles per charge, but in reality it gets about just under 300, which has been great so far. It's fantastic for running around town and not having to use gas, especially with gas prices the way they are right now. So really happy to finally have this, and so far it's been great, and I absolutely love it. What do you think? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's great.
It was a close race between the Tesla and the Mach-e. I was looking at the Model 3 and the Mach-e, even though the Mach-e is kind of competing with the Model Y, but I liked the Tesla. I was this close to getting the Tesla, but ultimately I went with the Mach-e just because I like the fact that the Mach-e has the screen in front of the steering wheel. I like the interior a little better. It's got a few extra buttons, and I actually like some physical buttons and knobs. And you know, the Tesla is supposed to be minimalist. It's not supposed to have that kind of stuff, but I like having a volume knob, for example. The Model Y and the Model 3 get a little bit better range than the Mach-e, but that doesn't bother me. Oh, and by the way, even though I've never driven a gasoline-powered Mustang in my life, I think the EV Mustang is better in every way. Just let you guys duke it out in the comments section. That should be fun to watch. I'm just kidding anyway. Now, I know some Mustang purists don't like the fact that they put the Mustang badge on the Mach-e. I think they should have. I think they had to, because it was the best way to make a splash in the EV market. I mean, if they had called this thing the Ford Sunshine or the Ford Electra or something, you know, nobody would pay attention to it. But because it's got the Mustang nameplate, everybody's paying attention to it. And so I think it had the exact effect that Ford was hoping for when they put the Mustang name on it. But all I'll say is that, you know, before you knock it, go test drive one, because it is a lot of fun to drive. And this isn't even the GT version. I'm sure the GT version is even more fun. You know, it's an EV, which they have great acceleration, so it's a lot of fun. Anyway, we're now about 20 minutes away from the train store, so as soon as we get there, we'll go inside and see what's arrived. All right, let's go in. So here's all the new arrivals from Lionel. These aren't all from me, of course. So we've got, this is the Legacy Station exclusive. This is a really cool looking SW1200 that is sold out, right?
Well, I think we had one, but I think somebody bought it.
Okay.
Did run a 40 and 39 or so.
This is really cool. You'll see that. And then we've got the cataloged Santa Fe SW1200. Then we've got a Norfolk Southern SD45 powered unit. And then there's the Strasburg Wood Coach 2-pack. So this is more of those Strasburg cars that I showed you in a previous video. And I think I've got an observation car coming as well at some point. Now, unfortunately, Brian said that the super base version of the Norfolk Southern SD45 did not arrive for whatever reason. So hopefully that'll come at a later point. But at least we've got this stuff. So we'll take a couple of these things out of the box and check them out, and then I'll show you the rest of them when we get home, and I'll do a video on them. Assuming it's not too crowded up front. It is a Saturday, and sometimes the train store can get kind of busy, but hopefully we'll be able to take a couple of these things out of the box. Now, I didn't order this, but this is pretty darn cool. This is a brand new MTH 1-gauge big boy. I don't run any 1-gauge, not really, so I don't have any reason to get this, but man, that would be cool. Now, JLWI 2000, he did a video on this last week. So if you haven't seen this in action, check that out. This is pretty darn cool. Okay, so update. Rather than waiting for the Norfolk Southern SD45 Super Base, I'm just going to get the Burlington Northern version instead because they do have this one. And then I'm also going to pick up this new Rail King Scale ALCO RS1 in Chicago Northwestern. That should be pretty cool as well. Little side note, this is the new Lionel Lion Chief Plus 2.0 Genesis. And the cool thing about it is it's XMTH. So this is actually is it the Rail King one?
The Imperial.
The Imperial Genesis that now has Lion Chief Plus 2.0 inside. Pretty neat. And I'm actually going to borrow one of these to review it. So you'll see this in a future video. Okay, so we're going to open up one of these SW1200s first. And this is going to be the Legacy Station exclusive that I was telling you about. Really cool looking SW1200. All sorts of XMTH stuff is coming out of the market, and so far it's all been really well done. The Atlas stuff and the Lionel stuff. But those Strasburg cars, those are XMTH. And I've already reviewed a bunch of Atlas XMTH stuff, and they've both done a great job with them. Basically, they've done a great job by changing nothing or changing as little as possible. Especially with the rolling stock. There was no reason to change it because MTH already did a great job with it. Legacy Station exclusive, Pennsylvania and Southern Legacy SW1200 number 17. Legacy control, Bluetooth control, Legacy rail sounds, fan-driven smoke, and 031 minimum curve. And notice it says for ages 14 to adult, so if you're 13, the police will come and arrest you. There it is. So this is the Extortion 17 commemorative SW1200. If you don't know about Extortion 17, just Google it. Never forget. Got a little bell up there. Now let me show you something, boys and girls. See the handrail snapped off the stanchion right here? But it'll be fine. See, it wants to stay there. I'll just use a drop of super glue later on, or CA glue, and that'll fix it. No need to return it, no need to freak out. A drop of super glue will fix it just fine. This feels like an MTH model. I don't know if it is or not. Do you know if this was XMTH?
No, it's not.
Okay.
That's Lionel.
Okay. Very cool. It's got that single motor that drives both trucks, kind of like Atlas does. For all I know, this is made in the same factory as Atlas. Very cool. Well, let's get it on the track. Nice smoke output. I love that this thing has smoke because, you know, When MTH used to make similar models, they never put smoke units in there, and it's nice that Lionel's got one in there for a change. Two funny custom cars here. We've got Let's Go Brandon and We Are Not Canceled. All right, so the other thing I'm going to open here at the store is the Rail King diesel, the Chicago Northwestern RS1, just because I thought it'd be kind of interesting to see what it looks like. So, oops. Tell you what would be really cool is to unbox that 1 gauge big boy. Too bad I don't run 1 gauge. So there it is. Here's all the stats. Chicago Northwestern ALCO RS1 diesel with Proto Sound 3. It's nice that MTH is starting to put out. Oops.
Yeah, don't hang it in there. Okay, yeah. Gonna bring it down here.
All right. Let's see what she looks like. Oh yeah. That is a handsome locomotive. Believe it or not, I do not have an RS1 in my fleet yet. It's been one of those locomotives that I've kind of always wanted to add. It's always been on the list, but I've just never gotten around to it. But here we are. And it's Rail King, but it's Rail King scale. So it's very nicely done. Ooh. This could be yours if the price is right. Very cool. We're out of the 400. Dual pickup rollers on each truck. This has a really good weight to it. I mean, it's not flimsy at all. Very well made. So let's get it on the track and check it out for a second.
Is you ready to go? Check that oil level. Oil level looks good. Thanks, bud. Okay, ready to pull out.
smoke output. Very cool. I really like the way this thing looks. Nice detail. It's great.
Make sure the sand bins are topped off. She ran great. Take care. See you soon.
Barbecue, Coke. Perfect end of the day. All right, we had some tasty barbecue at the Tipsy Pig in Lilburn, and now we're heading home. So I hope you enjoyed that visit to the train store. I think those SW1200s look great, and I really like that ALCO S1 as well from MTH. Didn't have a chance to open up the SD45s, but I'll do that when I get home, and I'll do full review videos on all the locomotives that I got today, so don't worry about that. When I get home, I might do a run by, run the stuff that I got today by the camera for you, just for one last running shot before we call it a day. But oh, I also wanted to give you an update on the Eric's Trains Lionel ES44 that's coming in later this year. A lot of people have asked me if I would autograph the box for them, and so rather than asking each person whether or not they want an autograph, when the locomotives arrive at Legacy Station later this year, I'm simply going to autograph all 150 of them. That'll take a while to do, but I think that's the easiest thing to do, is just to autograph them all. I'll also probably put an Eric's Trains sticker in the box as well, just so everybody has one. That's going to do it for now, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, if you'd like to support this channel, I would greatly appreciate it. That can be done through Patreon at patreon.com/ericstrains. I'll put a link to my Patreon page in the description of this video. Patreon supporters get all sorts of perks and benefits, and you can read about those benefits on my Patreon page. I'd like to put a big thank you out there to all of my current Patreon supporters. Your support means the world, not only to me, but to the future of this channel. And I'd like to put an extra big thank you out there to my premium tier Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome, and you'll see their names at the end of this video. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm Eric Siegel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.